You got him 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network for the new viewers out there in the chat, and welcome to the, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network for the new viewers out there, and welcome back to the existing or returning viewers. We are glad to have you all, and hope you guys are ready to have an amazing night here tonight with the ExtremeMotorsports99.com live on the Dre Broadcasting Network. And tonight, the Extreme Motorsports brings you the Buckle Up in Your Trucks 225. That's the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225, round 8 of the Extreme Motorsports99.com Camping World Truck Series, brought to you by the Extreme Motorsports 99 And tonight we are racing at Kentucky Speedway, just like last night in the Pro K&N Series Kentucky Speedway for 128 laps. I am Sean Zulu, and joining me up in the Dre Broadcasting booth as usual is our producer, David Everly. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
Doing great. Ready to see some fun action here at Kentucky Motor Speedway.
Oh, absolutely, man. We had so many battles last night in the K&N machines, and these machines are known to handle way better than the K&N cars. With that said, a lot more action coming up here tonight before too long. Fingers crossed for that. And Dave, what are we dealing with tonight?
Taking a look here at tonight's weather. It's 78 degrees. Track temperature 78 degrees. The wind out of the north at 2 miles an hour under partly cloudy conditions.
And with this 50% fuel limit, that is 50%, we should expect at least 3 to 4 pit stops in order for the drivers to be able to make it the full length of the race. Once again, 128 laps. Just a recap from the last race we had the week before last, because we were off last week, and that race was at Auto Club, the Auto Club 20th anniversary. That's the Auto Club 20th anniversary. In that race, we did have Zachary Kreiser bring it home. We had Cody McFadden come out second, Joshua Gillen third, Marty Ray fourth, Dakota Craig fifth, Adam Eisenhower sixth, Greg Bradshaw seventh, Garrett Robinson eighth, Garrett Helmlinger 9th, and Bobby Tinch did round up the top 10. Tyler Hallman 11th, Ken Ladd 12th, Curtis Vollmer 13th, and we had Curtis Vollmer, we had the honor of having Curtis Vollmer up in the Dre Broadcasting booth last night in the Pro K&N cars, but he did finish 13th last race. Tommy Amasi 14th, and Brent Kuhl did round up the top 15. And when it comes to the point standings, ladies and gentlemen, only 2 more races after tonight's race. That's 2 more races before the chase. So it is go time once again for all these drivers. And speaking of these points, Zachary Kreiser is leading in points. We have Curtis Vollmer second in points, Bobby Tinch third in points, Adam Eisenhower fourth, Garrett Robinson fifth, Marty Ray sixth. We have Dakota Craig 7th, Tommy Amasi 8th, Tommy Haynes 9th. So the 2 Tommies are close to each other, next to each other. And actually Tommy Haynes in 9th place is tied with Cody McFadden. So Cody McFadden, including Tommy Haynes, tied for 9th place in points. Hunter McDaniel rounding up the top 10, and Rick Donathan not too far behind them. At the exact same time, we have Kerry Cleaver, Joshua Gillen, Gary Woolbot, Travis Pryor. That's going to be 12th place to about 15th, rounding up the top 15 in the points standings. Well, we do have a lot of people in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, please type it up, say something, say hello, and we will most likely, well, happily, gladly give you a big Dre Broadcasting welcome. Gonna read out a couple of names here. Let's see. Gonna scroll all the way to the top. So we have Andrew Combs. Andrew Combs is back. Welcome back, Andrew Combs. He is Standby Nation. Hashtag Standby Nation. Standby Driver. The 40 of Joshua Gillen as well is in the chat. He is one of the drivers and last week's winner in the Pro K&N Series. First win for him after having some great success in the podium the last couple of races. We have Pat T. Pat T. Always a pleasure to see you. Hope you're doing well and they're ready for some action here tonight at Kentucky with the trucks. And let's see who else is in the chat this far. So far, that seems to be it. So please, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to type it up, say something, say hello. Let us know who you might be rooting for tonight, or what you're expecting to see, and we are always happy to hear about that. Or see you guys type in the chat. And once again, thank you very much for watching it live on the Dre Broadcasting Network. The Buckle Up in Your Truck 225, as right now the drivers now gridding up as we speak this time around. And the grid is now ready, and our post hitter is the alien so far this season, the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. I should correct myself. That's one of the aliens this season here in the Truck Series. Bryce Whitson takes over the pole. Hunter McDaniel, first ever champion of the Pro K&N Series, starting second. Garrett Robinson third. Ken Ladd 4th, Andy Starcher 5th. We have Bran Kuo, Check Don't Guess, Drive for Diabetes Awareness 6th, Curtis Vollmer 7th, 64 Cody McFadden 8th, Vernon Margheim 9th, Gary Woolbot 10th. We have Jim Kelly 11th, that 43 of Tyler Laureano 12th. We have 77 of Tyler Homan 13th. So, the two Tylers starting right next to each other, 12th and 13th. Brian Wasserman 14th, Marty Ray 15th, Bobby Tinch 16th, 98 of Dakota Craig 17th, the 2 of Ethan Kurtz 18th, the 07 of Christian DeFalco 19th, 36 of Jason Eisenhower, that's the Sim Speed Shop machine, the 20th place spot, rounding up the top 20. We have Tommy Haynes, David White, Joshua Gillen, Gary B. Whitson, Devin Sanders, Kerry Cleaver. We have Greg Bradshaw, Timothy Hamlet, Dag Blackman, Garrett Helmlinger, Travis Pryor, Tommy Amasi, Paul Davis, and Andrew Combs, rounding up the whole entire field here tonight. So we're going to see exactly how many drivers, but looks like we do have over 30 drivers starting tonight's race here at Kentucky Speedway, as we are now rolling here, being led by the post hitter, the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. And looking here in the chat, actually, is Bryce even? No, Bryce Whitson is not leading at the moment. Yeah, it does not seem to be on the track as we speak, but now the pole will be taken over by second place driver 57 Hunter McDaniel on the outside line. Well, exiting turn 4 for the first time. This time around, that pace car takes that hard left down to pit road, and Robinson finds that gas pit. A great start by the 1 of Garrett Robinson on the outside line. Hunter McDonough trying to play catch up as we speak in second place this far. 11 Ken Ladd on the outside, high and dry, trying to hang on to that third place spot against Andy Starcher and the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, and that 19 of Andy Starcher, an alien from last night in the Pro Can-N series, and is trying to transfer just that here tonight, here in the track series. The Buckle Up in Your Track 225, round 8 of 10 this season. And in the chat, we have some new viewers tuning in. Gonna give some more shout-outs. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in tonight. It is always a pleasure seeing you guys active in the chat and supporting all these drivers every single race, week after week. We have Garrett Robinson. He is racing tonight, but he did type there while gridding. He is currently in the lead. Good to see there, Garrett. Andrew Combs typed again, Standby Nation, get hyped, absolutely. Johnny Miranda in the chat. Uncle Jay Pryor is in the chat. Uncle to the 81 of Travis Pryor. We also have Deanna, that's Deanna Leslie in the chat, rooting for 65 of Marty Ray. Welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network, Deanna. Hope you're doing well and are ready to get hyped and pumped here tonight in the Truck Series. Once again, hope you guys are enjoying the show. Get your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready. It will be quite the show. Hope you guys have enough popcorn and refreshments to last the whole entire race. So much action going on the whole entire racing surface. And as we speak this time around, we have the 48 of Curtis Vollmer dropping like a rock, trying his best to hang on to the his spot so far, 7th place against the 64 McFadden and the 4 of Bran Kuo. The 4, that's going to be the Check Don't Guess Drive for Diabetes Awareness, drivefordiabetes.org, actually drivefordiabetesawareness.org. And for the back in this pack, 17 Tommy Haynes, the 2 Ethan Kurtz, Bobby Tinch, and the 07 of DeFalco.
Well, we did have a special request for tonight, so Gage Wall, happy birthday out there from Dre Broadcasting Extreme Motorsports 99.com, as he is out here watching and celebrating his birthday, so happy birthday.
Absolutely, Gage, and hope you are listening, buddy. Hope you're listening. And Dave, last night in the Can-N series, we didn't see too much apron action. Basically, we didn't see the apron taking too many drivers out. and that's most likely the expectation we're going to have here tonight. These things are a lot more stable. We can push them a lot more than those K&N cars, and as we see here so far, 66 of Bobby Tinch trying to make the outside line to work. Last night it took a very long time for the outside line to come into play, but here tonight it is totally different. The outside is already coming into play, only 6 laps in, and up front, but for the race lead between McDaniel and the one of Robinson side by side.
Yeah, the 11 of Ken Ladd, though, he's running right there in 3rd position as he is following the 57 of Hunter McDaniel. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Sean's hair's got an open mic.
Oh, my apologies.
As we see Ken Ladd, he is also going to get around Garrett Robinson there. He's going to drop Garrett back into 3rd. Ken's going to move up. Andy Starcher looking to get around Ken Ladd, or get around Garrett Robinson as well.
Yep, Robinson going from the 1st place spot to the 4th place spot before too long, and right now is fortunate enough to fall back in line to secure that spot for now to avoid dropping even further back into this pack or into the rest of the field. And for the back in the pack, 77 of Tyler Holman riding behind the 4 of Brent Kuo. The caution flies on lap 8.
That looks like that's going to involve the 51 there of Paul Davis as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay. Go back and take a look here, see exactly what happened with Paul Davis. It looks like he was battling side by side, running the inside lane there as they come out of turn 2 onto the backstretch. Unfortunately, contact with the outside truck there. He goes around. Only really minor damage. No real. One other car made contact, but for the most part, just minor damage for our first caution.
Absolutely, man. That definitely could have been a lot worse, but nice save, great save by all these drivers, and Paul Davis getting the worst end of that deal. And these drivers, ladies and gentlemen, opposed to the K&N series, these drivers here in the truck series only have 1 backup truck and not 2 like the K&N cars, so only 1 quick fix. And if they're out of that, the next wreck, if it's bad enough, it will most likely end their night. And when it comes down to the 51 of Paul Davis, he most likely might end up using his reset because that machine has seen better days, and he definitely will suffer. But up front, everybody going down pit road, and Joshua Gillen staying out. Open the race off pit road is won by the 57. Oh, actually, no, scratch that. The race off pit road is won by the 81 of Travis Pryor. Travis Pryor started in dead last in the 33rd place position, or 31st place position here in this case, and is now in the lead. And looking at Travis Pryor's pit time, I'm going to try and find him here on this list. Yeah, Travis Pryor. Actually, Dave, I'm not sure if I'm having a glitch on my end again, but it's not showing him with any pit time.
No, I think what he did, he just did a drive-through through pit road. He may have missed his pit stop.
Oh, 10-4, man. That does make a lot of sense. And yes, he is going down pit road this time by. So Hunter McDaniel will take the race lead, well, will maintain the race lead this time around on lap 11 with 118 laps remaining here in tonight's race. And the updated top 5 hours follows. We have Hunter McDaniel still leading, 11 of Ken Ladd second, 19 Andy Starcher third, 64 of Cody McFadden fourth, and the 1 of Garrett Robinson in the 5th place position, rounding up the top 5 this far. Oh, yep, and Travis Pryor did verify in the chat that he did end up missing his pit stall. But I'm pretty sure it's extra difficult to tell with all the changes here during this build that just got released by the iRacing officials, but we've heard nothing but good things about the handling of these machines with the new build. And ladies and gentlemen, I talked about how this is race number 8 of 10 in the regular race season before the chase begins. So once after the next 2 races, around 9 and 10, the chase will begin, and the chase is a 5-race series. So the drivers who are in the chase here this far, I'm going to read a couple of names here. Let's see once it loads up. So we have Zachary Kreiser having 2 wins under his belt, locked into the chase. Curtis Vollmer as well with 1 win, locked into the chase. Tommy Haynes, 1 win in the chase. We have Tyler Hallman in the chase as well with 1 win. Bryce Whitson Jr., 1 win under his belt in the chase. Hunter McDaniel, 1 win as well in the chase at the moment. Bobby Tinch, Adam Eisenhower, Garrett Robinson, Marty Ray, Dakota Craig, Tommy Amasi, and Kerry Cleaver as well. And some drivers on the bubble here include Gary Woolbot, Brent Kuo as well, including Cody McFadden and Rick Donathan. So the points, the chase is not final just yet. There is still enough time, or some time, for some drivers who are not in the chase to get themselves locked in here in the next, in this race and the next 2 races after this. So once again, Zachary Kreiser, Curtis Vollmer, Tommy Amasi, Tyler Hallman, Bryce Whitson Jr., Hunter McDaniel, Bobby Tinch, Adam Eisenhower, Garrett Robinson, Marty Ray, Dakota Craig, Tommy Amasi, including Kerry Cleaver. So far, these drivers are locked, but that is bound. That could change. So it's not final just yet. Well, but the pace car does dip off, then that green flag does fly. The 57 of McDaniel catches everybody off guard. 11 of Ken Ladd, 19 of Starcher side by side before turn 1. But Ken Ladd will clear the 19 of Starcher successfully before turn number 2 and maintain second place spot against Andy Starcher. And for the back in this pack, 33 of Vern Markheim watching bottom behind him, the 2 Ethan Kurtz and 77 of Wasserman. And Dave, last night in the Pro Can-N Series, 33 of Vern Markheim was forced to retire before the race actually ended. And tonight, David is back with a vengeance, trying to have a win, trying to have a better race. And 23 of Jim Kelly on the outside line past the 7 of Gary Woolbot. His next victim is 72 of Brian Wasserman. But so far, Kelly just rides, trying to buy his time. As 48 in front of him, Curtis Vollmer taps that apron on the exit of turn 4. No harm done. Still green flag racing. All momentum maintained, all speed maintained. And the spot has been maintained as well by Mr. Vollmer himself, as Vollmer is now closing into the back bumper, into the rear view at the same time of the 2 of Ethan Kurtz in the 10th place spot.
Yes, we're riding here on the nose with Curtis Vollmer. You can just see the difference in lines that they're making. I mean, he makes up the ground in the entry of the turn, but it looks like Ethan just kind of starts pulling away a little bit there on the exit as he is looking around to try to get up there and battle for that position.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you talked about those different race lines. We saw that last night as well. Some drivers going from the bottom to the outside line, also preferring to go bottom and middle, while others preferring to stay in the middle and going high on the exit of these turns. But it all depends. So basically, the drivers who end up using the middle to high line save tires for the long run, while those who go to the inside do end up burning their stuff. At the same time, they are faster, so they're fast while burning up their stuff. But those drivers on the outside are more conservative. They are a little bit slower, a little bit below the pace, but they are saving tires and will end up benefiting and propelling in the long run when we have a long green flag runs. And here, as we speak, for the back in this pack, we have the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. Whitson Jr. did miss the start, but he was the pole sitter. He is the pole sitter. Well, he did qualify on the pole here tonight and is currently in the 16th place spot after starting in dead last, pretty much. And now trying to get around the 13 of Gary Whitson and the 23 of Jim Kelly. And the driver we have been warned to watch out for is the 07 of Christian DeFalco. DeFalco here currently just riding in the 21st place position behind the 59 of David White. But some machines now approaching the rear end of DeFalco at a very fast rate, namely Mr. Restart himself, 81 of Travis Pryor, Greg Bradshaw, 40 of Joshua Gillen. And roadblock here has been found by 74 of Bradshaw, who so far is just riding, trying to just let the traffic go by him or to gain distance so he can be able to get a run against them to benefit himself.
Yeah, most definitely, but we still got a long race though. I mean, still 109 laps to go, 128 lap race here tonight, so that's definitely a thing there. But look at Travis Pryor. He actually used that apron a little bit there in the dog leg. Didn't see too many cars do that last night, but he's trying anything as he's running right there in 20th position to make up some positions.
Oh, definitely. He went 3 wide to make that pass, and he made actually both passes successfully. And as we speak, 59 of David White was left out high and dry and is now paying the price, getting freight trained at a very fast rate, and is now trying to fall back in line. Well, not quite. His inside is occupied by the 43 of Mr. Laureano himself, Tyler. And as we speak, Laureano trying to follow the line of 74 of Greg Bradshaw for the 22nd place spot. And look at that, Dave. So many drivers who did start in the back of the pack are starting to work their way towards the front. We have 94 of Devin Sanders, one of the most colorful machines out there, the Bud Light machine that is very beautiful blue color. And right behind Sanders, we have the 05 of Tommy Amasi, who was leader in points for quite a while in the Pro K&N series before he lost the lead to the 05, to the 81, sorry, of Travis Pryor, and 75 of Wally Tierheimer. And as we speak here, 36 of Jason Eisenhower as well, trying to poke his nose into the battle. But once he catches that, oh, I've driven the grass off the exit of turn 4, but the caution will not fly. That's the 2 of Ethan Kurtz in the grass.
Yeah, he gets it in the grass, but does a good job of saving it. Let's see if we can take a look here on the Dre Broadcasting replay. We're going to focus on the 2 of Ethan Kurtz, see what happened as he was in the grass, but he was able to maintain control of it and get it back out here. As we were going to take a look, oh, he just lost it out of the turn. That back end came around. He spun out in the grass, got a little bit of air there through the bumps through the grass, but good job by Ethan Kurtz getting that thing saved and getting it back out on the track.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, very unfortunate for Ethan Kurtz that it had to happen to him. But once again, great save on his part. That could have been ugly. But he was able to keep that machine under control. But here is now currently riding the 32nd place spot. Pretty much almost dead last. We have Bobby Tinch unfortunately being shown 2 laps down. And speaking of Bobby Tinch is currently in the 33rd place spot behind a pack, trying to get his laps back the hard way. So he's hoping for some cautions so he can be able to accomplish just that. And Mr. Tinch himself is sitting very well. He's doing well in the point standings. He was 3rd place in points starting tonight's race, and that should most likely go up from here, from after tonight's race. But that once again is easier said than done, because it's going against Zachary Kreiser and Curtis Vollmer, one of the heaviest hitters here in the Truck Series. And ladies and gentlemen, previous champion who has been for quite a while, that was Tommy Wetmore, who will not be defending his throne once again, because he has been advanced or promoted to the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series on Wednesdays and Thursday nights. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, the Extreme Motorsports 99 has races pretty much 4 days a week, 4 nights a week. On Mondays and Tuesdays, Monday nights, they have a Road Series and a Pro K&N Series. That's Road Series and a Pro K&N Series. And that Pro K&N Series is brought to you live by the Dre Broadcasting Network right here. And on Tuesday nights, a Track Series, like you see right before you, brought to you live by the Dre Broadcasting Network. Wednesday nights is the Xfinity Series. That's the Xfinity Series Wednesday nights, brought to you live by the OSR Network. That's the online sim racing network with David Everly and Joe White. Well, Joe White, the owner of the company, and David Everly, one of his commentators on Wednesdays. And Thursday nights is the Cup Series or the Gen 6 Series, also brought to you live by the online sim racing network with Joe White. So also check out the online sim racing network on YouTube, and be sure to check out the ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And basically, the Extreme Motorsports 99 places you in a series based on how much experience you have, because it pretty much starts from the bottom to the top, and the top being the Cup Series on Thursday nights, and the lowest series being the Pro K&N Series on Monday nights. Once again, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, going back here to the race, we have the 66 of Bobby Tinch so far trying to make some headway, trying to catch up to the leaders to try and make up some time and get his laps back the hard way. But in front of him, we have a roadblock. We have the 40 Joshua Gillen, the 7 Gary Woolbot, 74 of Greg Bradshaw on the outside line with the help of the 43 of Tyler Laureano on that outside line. And behind Laureano is the 23 of Jim Kelly. And last time we checked on Jim Kelly, he was battling heavily, but now he seems to have backed it down and is just pretty much riding.
Yeah, got a little hornet's nest here in the back, but kind of going up front here, it looks like don't really see too much really going on as far as the top 10 here. As we see the 13, he is going to be making his way around Brent Cole, jumping him up into the top 10. That's Gary Whitson. He is moving up into the top 10, but I tell you what, we haven't talked much about it. Look here at Hunter McDaniel. He has got a 1.5 second lead over Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd, he has got only a 0.3 lead over Cody McFadden and Andy Starcher. So we got a good little battle brewing here for second, third, and fourth. But Garrett Robertson, though, he's sitting back here in fifth. He is about a second behind that pack.
Yep, and Robinson is definitely in the draft of the pack. But then you also remember that the draft doesn't play as much of a factor as it does at a track like Daytona, Talladega, or maybe Charlotte as well. But it definitely does have some kind of factor when it comes to working with these drivers, with a driver like Garrett Robinson against the 19 of Andy Starcher. And as we speak so far, looks like the gap in between Robinson and Starcher was able to increase by 1/10 of a second. So it looks like Andy Starcher has upped his game, while Robinson is feeling the effects of the tire wear. And also one thing, Dave, that most drivers talked about last night, including when we broadcast some other leagues there after the update here on iRacing, they talked about the change in tire wear. The tire fall off is now a lot greater. So with that said, man, we're going to see a lot of drivers saving more tires than before.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole point of the update with iRacing. They wanted to make it more realistic. They wanted to see tire drop off. So they made a change to it. So you definitely have to save your tires more, because if you abuse them, man, you are going to lose a lot of time really quick.
Oh yeah, and this actually works well with drivers who are very conservative when it comes to such drivers as the 05 of Tommy Amasi. We have Tommy Haynes, including the 40 Joshua Gillen, Dakota Craig. These drivers prefer to ride for the most part for more than half the race and then find fifth gear later on. So this is now going to benefit them more than it ever did before, because before they would usually get penalized for riding too long and saving tires for too long. And our first driver on pit road, the 05 of Tommy Amasi, David White as well, accompanying him on pit road with 24 laps in. I should say 24 laps on their run.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting not to see some pit stops for about the next 10 laps, but maybe it's pit window. I'm not quite sure, Sean.
Oh, definitely, Dave. Yeah, it is pit window. In the track series, the most we usually see drivers go at most tracks is about 26 laps maximum. Actually, scratch that. I stand corrected because now the leaders up front have 27 to 29 laps on their tires. But yeah, pit road is getting nothing but busier. So yep, pit window is finally opening. Gary Woolbot on pit road, Andrew Combs on pit road. One thing we'll always have to remember is that these tracks differ in length. With that said, the pit window is always going to be different no matter what. This track is 1.5 miles in length compared to the other tracks we've ran.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, unfortunately, I've been waiting for the pit crews, but guys, unfortunately, only the drivers get to see their pit crews for now. I'm hoping iRacing's going to change that so that we can show that on these broadcasts. That's going to be awesome. But I tell you, I still haven't had a chance to get in there and actually try it and see what it's like. But a lot of these drivers say they love coming down on pit road and seeing them guys go around the car as they change the tires.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's been a great addition so far on iRacing for the driver's perspective. But yeah, hopefully here in the near future, iRacing puts it so we as spectators will be able to see that. That would be really, really amazing and a game changer at the exact same time. But Dave, pit road is a very, very busy place. We have Ken Ladd, Marty Ray, Timothy Hamlet. We have Kerry Cleaver, Jim Kelly, Garrett Helmlinger, all down pit road as we speak. But up front here, we have Hunter McDaniel, Hunter McDaniel going down pit road this time around and giving up the race lead. But McFadden staying out and is a new race leader on lap 39.
Yeah, so we're starting to see pit strategies. So these guys are running. We saw it about 24 laps. Now we've got some guys in the 30s. So you're probably looking anywhere between 25 and 35 laps.
Yep, sounds about right. And here as we speak, we have Andy Starcher, second place driver, only a 10th behind the leader, but he goes down pit road while the leader McFadden decides to stay out one more lap. Now 31 laps on his tires and tank here on this run. We have Bryce Whitson Jr. now being shown second, Brian Wasserman in that third place spot. We have Christian DeFalco fourth, that's Christian DeFalco fourth, and Tommy Haynes in that fifth place position. We have Garrett Robinson, Gary Whitson, Vern Markheim, Curtis Vollmer, Tyler Loriano, Devin Sanders, Jason Eisenhower, all down pit road as we speak. And Brian Whitson backs the sucker down to pace speed, including the leader up front, Cody McFadden, pit speed, which is 50 miles an hour. And they do end up making that successfully. And also one thing to keep in mind, races are won or lost on pit road, as this now rounds up the first round of pit stops, as everybody is now on pit road. So the drivers who went the most on their tires were Bryce Whitson Jr., including McFadden and Brian Wasserman with 32 laps on their tires. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, here with about 41 laps completed, 88 laps remaining, we'll take our first commercial break of the evening so we can thank our sponsors and so we can also get a little bit of a break here. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Buckle Up in Your Track 225. That's the Buckle Up in Your Track 225, round 8 of 10 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series, brought to you by the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Well, check out ExtremeMotorsports99.com at their website. They do run a lot of things all week long. Monday nights, just summary for the new viewers, on Monday nights, a Road Series and a Pro K&N Series. Tuesday nights, Truck Series. Wednesday nights, Xfinity Series. And Thursday nights, a Cup Series. So check them out if you'd like to be a part of the action. And by that I mean if you'd like to be a driver in one of these upcoming seasons. So once again, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, going back to the race, we are under caution. We had some contacts between the 11 of Ken Ladd and the 13 of Gary Whitson, which did cause them to lose control, and giving us this caution here right after those green flag pit stops. But heck of a run so far by these drivers, and this was a much needed caution for a lot of drivers, because the green flag pit stops, as we know them, do separate the men from the boys, as Dave likes to put it, and at the same time they do spread out the field a lot. And so this caution once again is a good thing for some, but not so good for others. And 66 of Bobby Tinch, that's 66 of Bobby Tinch, was able to get the wave around the pace car, got 1 lap back, and is now 1 lap down from 2 laps down, and will be in line for the lucky dog if another caution comes out here in the near future. And ladies and gentlemen, we hope you guys are enjoying this show this far. These drivers doing an amazing show. I mean, doing an amazing job as usual. And for the new viewers, once again, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. We can never thank you guys enough, all new and old. It doesn't go unnoticed. But we are being led now. Oh, new leader, actually. I just not noticed this, but new leader, the 4 of Brent Kuhl. The 19 Andy Starcher starting second right beside him. We have Hunter McDaniel starting second on the inside in third place, but second place on the inside behind the 4. Mr. Check Don't Guess, Drive for Diabetes Awareness. And we have the 64 of McFadden Greenhouse Chevy Silverado on the outside behind the 19 of Andy Starcher. And I'm a Pepper, and that's a Toyota Camry, Toyota Tundra by the 57 of Hunter McDaniel with the Whataburger paint scheme. That is a well-dressed machine, but we are going green this time by.
As the pace car now brings them out of turn 4, getting ready to go. Green flag racing once again here, being led by the 4 of Brent Kuhl. As the pace car gets ready to dip down, pace car is off. We are back racing as Brent Kuhl gets hard on that grass. Green flag is out as we are back green flag racing here at Kentucky Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Mr. Brent Kuhl was so eager to go. He actually rear-ended the pace car there before leaving, so he's most likely gonna have to pay some money to get the rear bumper of the pace car fixed once the race is over. But as we speak, McDaniel trying to hunt down Brent Kuhl, and as I'm looking at my stats right now, it looks like Brent Kuhl pitted in 13 laps ago. Oh man, his inside is so wide, it's so open that Hunter McDaniel takes advantage of that and will take over the race lead this time by... Yes, Hunter McDaniel, new race leader on lap 50, and Brent trying to fall back in line to maintain second place against McFadden, Starcher, Travis Pryor, Bryce Whitson Jr., and 77 of Tyler Holman. And like I was saying, Brent pitted in 14 laps ago, which gives him over 9 laps more on his tires compared to majority of the field, and that is a very, very big disadvantage, because like we had talked about, the tires are more important now than they were in the previous builds. As we speak, Mr. Brent is trying to hang on strong, hang on tight, but he is getting freight trained in almost every single direction possible. He will go to 5th place before too long. Yes, he's in 5th place before too long. 6th has a 10 of Whitson to his inside.
Yeah, so it looks like tires are going to be key. I mean, he's got about 11 lap older tires than everybody and you just see they are just getting around him with no problem.
Yeah, hopefully he's able to fall back in line and hang on to a spot, but so far seems like that 6th place spot is the way to go for Brent Kuo. But behind him, some pressure coming from the rear end, 65 of Marty Ray. Marty Ray to the outside with the help of 77 of Tyler Holman. And Brent Kuo taking the taxi road. Yep, take the taxi lane down towards pit road. Gonna find out here before too long. Yes, Brent Kuo going down pit road. This time by with only now 16 laps on his tires.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hunter McDaniel, man, he has got this track fixed. He's got it figured out. He is already over to a second lead over the 64 of Cody McFadden. Andy Starcher sitting right there in 3rd. Travis Pryor 4th. And Bryce Whitson rounding out your top 5 here. But just behind Bryce Whitson, I mean, we got some big hitters. You got Marty Ray, Tyler Hallman, Vern Markheim, Garrett Robinson, and Christian DeFalco rounding out your top 10. So these guys got to be careful. Not sure what happened, but the 11 of Ken Ladd, he has dropped back. He is sitting in 17th, so he's got to make up some time here. But he has actually been working his way through the field. So he's got a little bit go to get back up front.
Yeah, speaking of Ken Ladd, Ken Ladd getting involved in the last incident that brought out the caution with the 13 of Gary B. Whitson. He's currently in the 17th place spot, that's Ken Ladd, while Whitson, status check, he is in the 20th place spot, only 3 spots apart. And they will be trying to find each other, both drivers trying to charge or work their way towards the front here before too long. And Ken Ladd here catching up to Dakota Craig at a fast rate. Dakota Craig, the Colby Eye Paints Chevy Silverado, well-dressed machine so far behind the 05 of Tommy Amasi, who in turn is in line behind the Joshua Gillen, the 2 Ethan Kurtz. These guys getting more bunched up than ever before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hornet's nest. That's not usually where I like to be. You know, something happens. These guys hitting speeds here, you know, 150, 160, 70 mile an hour. Something happens in front, man. It takes a while for these trucks to slow down, so. But the only thing is you got to get through this field to gain them position.
Oh yes, sir, and we actually had a chance to speak with 48 of Curtis Vollmer when it comes to such. He talked about how he prefers to qualify and start up front to avoid all the carnage, and the strategy seems to work out well for the most part. Like we saw in the case of 19 of Starcher last night, he had the exact same strategy. He started up front, stayed up front all race long. He actually started in the 3rd place spot and stayed up front pretty much all race long. But unfortunately, the tables turned with less than 20 laps remaining, but he was safe for the most part. And here tonight, Curtis Vollmer currently in the 11th place spot. He did start in the 7th place spot, and that is most likely where he did. That's not where he wanted to qualify, but that is how the everything had landed or fell into place. Oh, the caution flies this time around. Turn 1, trouble in turn 1. 77 of Tyler Holman got a piece of the action, and so did the 65 of Marty Ray and the 19 of Andy Starcher. Let's back it up on Andy and see what happened.
As we put the Dre Broadcasting replay, we're going to take a look here at the 19 of Andy Starcher. Oh, contact between him and Marty Ray. And it just caused a big chain reaction as they went back down, and it looked like a couple incidents there trying to avoid. 98 Dakota Craig in, 77 Tyler Hallman, he's got some heavy damage. Oh, that is a heartbreaker there.
Oh man, definitely. And yeah, Andy Starcher getting the worst end of that deal. Heavy smoke here, and is getting towed down to pit road. Did not want to risk blowing that motor up, because with that much smoke, it was only a matter of time before a big loud boom was heard from the engine bay of the 19 machine, the Silverado. But up front, Hunter McDaniel in the lead with McFadden 2nd, Travis Pryor 3rd, Bryce Whitson Jr. 4th, and Bryce Whitson as well was a driver who got a piece of the action while they were wrecking in front of him, currently 4th, and Garrett Robinson in the 5th place spot, rounding up the top 5 this far, and Hunter McDaniel leading everybody down pit road, and most likely everybody will follow. Oh, yep. Single foul line right behind Mr. McDaniel himself. Everybody going down pit road. And this gives us time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on one of the drivers, the 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Get a copy there, Kerry.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, just riding.
Oh man, yes, you have been riding pretty much all race long, just taking it easy, trying to buy your time. And Kerry, we noticed you haven't had the best season, or the season that you'd have loved to have, but so far doing an amazing job here in tonight's race. That just might be a turning point for you. But how's the race going so far, man?
Pretty uneventful.
Oh, 10-4.
Just trying to stay out of trouble mainly right now.
And how's the handling doing with the machine? Because, you know, with the new iRacing update, a lot has changed.
To me, it pushes really bad. And I don't know if I'm not getting out of it early enough or what, but I'm just having a hard time with it.
Oh, copy that, man. That's very, very sorry about that. And how are you working with that? How are you trying to counter it, basically?
I'm just trying to get out of it a little earlier, but then they're just driving off and leaving me, so I'm not sure exactly where I'm losing at all.
Oh, 10-4, man. That does make sense. And Kerry, we have some good news, man. We have some great news, actually. You have the lowest, you have the cleanest driving record here in the series so far. With that said, you are you are being shown in the chase now. And with that said, man, how are you feeling coming into the chase? We're only like 2 races away.
That's pretty cool. I've just tried to stay out of trouble most of this year, just being first year with this group of guys, you know, just didn't want to make a bad name for myself, so I just tried to stay out of trouble.
Oh, that is very, very nicely said. And yeah, you have tried your best, but trouble seems to find you wherever you may be. We noticed those last two wrecks, or first 2 wrecks actually, you actually missed them by a nose hair. I couldn't have put a nickel in between you and the incident, but that was nice to see you get through that and scratch. But still, your machine has seen better days at the exact same time. You know, Rubbing is racing, and Chevy Silverado hopefully seeing victory lane tonight. And with the way you've been driving so far and just scanning the rest of the field, how's the competition looking? Basically, do you see yourself winning tonight's race?
Nah, I'd be lucky to get a top 20. It's so hard to pass, and you know, like I say, I'm just trying to stay out of the way. So it's once I do get strung out, it gets so hard to pass.
Oh, most definitely, man. That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, we've seen so many drivers trying to take while they can. Like you said, it is very, very pushy for you. And we hope that you keep countering it well, and that it does end up changing to your liking. Well, buddy, you are now back 1 to green. You are going green this time around. Stay alive, and see you in victory lane.
Thank you, sir.
And that was 69 of Kerry Cleaver with the Bandit Motorsports team with Chris Voiles, but he's a solo driver here tonight. But exiting turn 4, we are going green, being led by the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. And that pace car takes the demanding left-hand turn, and Bryce finds the gas pedal immediately. And right behind him, 40 George McGillen side by side of second place between him and 64 of McFadden, who takes over second place before turn 1. Hunter McDaniel right behind him in line for the 3rd place spot. We have Robinson as well, 48, Curtis Vollmer, Vern Markheim, Brian Wasserman. Yeah, these guys single file in the back of the pack, or I should say mid-pack, while battling is going on up front here. Curtis Vollmer, Garrett Robinson, Hunter McDaniel, and the 40 of Gillen.
Yeah, got a little hornet's nest. That's going to let Bryce Whitson Jr., though, start pulling away here. This Cody McFadden, he's starting to pull away as the guys behind him are battling side by side, almost 3 wide with Hunter McDaniel, Josh Gillen, and Garrett Robinson. But the more these guys battle, the more those front guys are going to pull away.
And Dave, when it comes to the 10 of Bryce Whitson was the post hitter here tonight there in qualifying, but ended up missing the start and had to start in the back of the pack, dead last in the 32nd place position, but has finally made his way, well, he's worked his way to the front. He's now in the lead, and we know this for a fact. Every single time Mr. Whitson Jr. takes over the race lead, it's nearly impossible to take that away from him. But as we speak, McFadden trying to narrow down that lead against him lap after lap, bit by bit. So hopefully McFadden is able to accomplish just that. At the exact same time, McFadden is having some pressure from the rear end. That's pressure from the rear end from Hunter McDaniel, Garrett Robinson, and the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen.
Yeah, there's another battle brewing right behind him there with that's going to be Ken Ladd. He's trying to get back up here. He has worked his way up into the back into the top 10 as him and the 07 of Christian DeFalco are battling it out. But there's still another little hornet's nest right behind him there. So you got Vern Markheim. He's sitting right there in, I think that's Vern Markheim. Yes, Vern Markheim sitting there in 7th. Curtis Balmer and all that. Still got a lot of racing. 63 laps to go beyond the halfway point. So we're at the halfway point. That means it's starting to get go time, but these drivers doing a pretty good job.
Yep, go time here for these drivers. 5th gear just might be engaged here before too long. And speaking of the 07 of DeFalco, makes a power move on the outside line. The outside, yes, is coming into play more than it did in last night's race in the Pro K&N series. And Ethan Kurtz, 11, Ken Ladd so far single file, trying to work together for a common good. Well, I stand corrected. Crossover engaged by 11 of Ken Ladd against the 2 of Ethan Kurtz, side by side before turn 1. And a driver we have not spoken much of tonight, the 194 of Garrett Helmlinger. He's been keeping a very, very low profile here in tonight's race. It did start in 32nd place and currently 14th behind the 13 of Gary Whitson. And so far, Helmlinger trying his best to stay alive so he can be there for the very end of the race, the most important time of the race here at Kentucky Speedway. The buckle up in your truck 225, round 8 of 10 in the regular race season before the chase. And the 42 of Andrew Combs. Andrew Combs currently in the 16th place spot. He did start in the 34th place position and is currently 16th behind the 74 of Greg Bradshaw. Travis Pryor did fall back. Just not noticed this. Yeah, Travis Pryor has fallen so far back, after getting involved in the incident there. Heavy damage on that Toyota Tundra of Pryor. But he is still going nice and strong, representing the Maverick Motorsports team with the Top Gun on the rear end. His next victim so far is the 42 of Andrew Combs, and his biggest opponent so far is the 149 of Timothy Hamlet.
Yeah, I mean, we still got some big names in the back. I mean, we got David White back there, Tyler Laureano, Bobby Tinch. He's back on the lead lap. He has moved up into 24th position, so he is back on the lead lap. Marty Ray's sitting back here. He's 2 laps down. Brent Coole's a lap down. So he's sitting right there in the lucky dog position here as we are now 58 laps remaining in tonight's race.
Even speaking of the 65 of Marty Ray, that high on Toyota Tundra, getting to the inside of the 149 of Timothy Hamlet. But once again, no harm done. Marty Ray is being shown 2 laps down. Got some bad luck. The last caution went 2 laps down as a result. And now trying to get his laps back the hard way. His best bet right now is to catch up to those leaders. Have an amazing pit stop when it comes to the green flag pit stops, so he can be able to better get that one lap back the hard way. Because with Brent Quill being the first driver a lap down in that lucky dog position, I should say in this case, the only driver a lap down in the lucky dog position, it makes it difficult and nearly impossible for Marty Ray and Andy Starcher to get their laps back. So because both, once again, Andy Starcher and Marty Ray are both being shown 2 laps down, including the 0.5 of Tommy and Massey. And status check on the 7 of Gary Woolbot. Gary Woolbot being shown 5 laps down in the 33rd place spot in that Budweiser Toyota Tundra. Is currently just hoping for the best, hoping for some cautions, so can be able to as well get his laps back before the race ends. 55 laps remaining and 74 laps completed this far. But up front, Dave Bryce Whitten doing exactly what he does best. Once he takes over the race lead and gets that clean air, he increasing his lead every single lap.
Yeah, I mean, he's running pretty good, but Hunter McDaniel's kind of keeping him right there. Just 0.8 of a difference there. So Hunter McDaniel's doing a good job. He's not gaining on him, but he's not letting Bryce Whitten Jr. Pull away either. Meanwhile, Cody McFadden right there, he is sitting there in 3rd place behind Hunter McDaniel. Right there on his bumper as those two are starting to battle it out for that number 2 position.
Yeah, speaking of McFadden, last time we checked on McFadden, he was in 2nd place spot, but as we were focused there in the back of the pack, or for the back in the pack, he did lose a spot to the 57 of Hunter McDaniel, and the gap in between him and McDaniel is getting nothing but bigger. So McFadden might be backing it down to save those tires, or maybe he burned up his stuff trying to run down Whitten Jr. and is now paying the price. But either way, fingers crossed for McFadden, and so that everything works out before the next round of pit stops. And further back here in this pack, we have the 51 of Paul Davis. I'm expecting a match of Paul Davis watching a battle between the 19 of Starcher and the 43 of Laureano.
Yes, we're going to go here on the cockpit watching that battle right from his driver's seat. As you see, he's getting a good run in the middle of the turn there as he's getting right on the back bumper there of the 19. As there's an accident in front of him. Oh, what a good view as he got around it. He did get into the back end there. I think that was the 4 of Brent Cool here as we were going to pull it up. Let's take a look here from the blimp, see exactly what happened as it happened in front of him. Bringing out the yellow here, but good maneuvers there by the 51 of Paul Davis. Is wait, that wasn't the 4 of Brent Cool. He bumped, I think that is the 43 machine. Yeah, he bumps him as he tries to get around, but I think that's the 11 of Ken Ladd. Let's go back here and see if we can get a look here, see exactly what happened to the 11 of Ken Ladd as he was battling door-to-door with the 13. Oh, a door check there. Ken Ladd goes up into the outside wall, spins around, then everybody scrambled to try to miss him.
Oh man, yep, great view right there, ladies and gentlemen, from the shotgun seat, seeing a wreck live right before you. But yeah, that is exactly what Paul Davis was seeing as that happened. But once again, very unfortunate for every single driver involved in that. And this is Ken Ladd's second incident he's been involved in, is what I'm trying to say. And he most likely used his backup truck early on. Actually, early on there on the exit of turn 4, yeah, I believe he did use his backup truck. Hopefully that's not the case. I hope I'm wrong for his sake, so he can be able to get that damage fixed or get a brand new machine if he needs to. Yeah, because that the front end is very, very beat up, and the top end will definitely suffer. But up front here, Bryce Whitten leads everybody down pit road, and pit window is about to open in only 13 laps. So this is going to make these drivers get those calculators out once again to start thinking about the pit strategy.
Yeah, it's going to be pit strategy here as we're 50 laps here remaining. One more pit stop is still going to be needed. As we see Jason Eisenhower, he gets the wave around the pace car as he is now back on the lead lap.
Yep, congrats to the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. Jason Eisenhower ended up becoming the first driver 1 lap down because the leaders just overtook him there before the caution had flown. So great job to Jason Eisenhower, and that machine has seen better days, but Eisenhower going nice and strong despite that. And I just now noticed this. We are missing Adam Eisenhower. Hope he's doing well. He had a heck of a race last night in the Pro K&N Series. And we look forward to seeing him back again for next week's race.
Well, unfortunately, something happened to Hunter McDaniel coming off pit road as we're going back to the Dre Broadcasting replay here. Oh, he had just completely lost it, spun his tires coming from his pit stall. He is going to slide and hit that inside wall there. Let's take another look at that there. Unfortunate there for the 57 of Hunter McDaniel as he gets some heavy front end damage and is going to lose a lot of positions.
Oh man, and as a result of him smacking that wall like no man's business, he sustained some heavy front end damage. And yeah, that he'll definitely feel that once the green flag flies the next time around. But he is going down pit road to either get a backup truck or get that damage fixed. Most likely get the damage fixed so he can be able to go until the final pit stop of the evening. Yep, Hunter McDaniel deciding to not use his backup truck and letting his pit crew work on it. Very smart. It's one of those things you have to decide. You'll be slow for just a few laps, because on a few laps after the green flag flies, the pit window will open, and then after that he'll be able to then he'll be able to get that backup truck and actually use it for the last after the last pit stop of the evening. But up front here, Bryce Whitson still leading, Garrett Robinson second, Cody McFadden third, Curtis Vollmer fourth, and Vern Markheim in the 5th place spot, rounding up the top 5. And we have some drivers behind the pace car, namely Brent Kuhl. We have 05 of Tommy Amasi and the 19 of Andy Starcher, all right behind this pace car, hoping to get 1 lap back. Yes, and the lights of the pace car do turn off, they get waved around, and 1 lap back they got.
Yeah, that's going to put Brent Kuhl back on the lead lap too also, Sean.
Oh, yes, it will, but Dave, one downside to that, he gets that wave around, but he now has 17 laps more on his tires compared to majority of the field. You know, it's one of those things, man, you got to gamble.
Well, I mean, the pit window still's going to open here in probably about 15 laps, so he's still got to pit anyway, so, I mean, it's a gamble to try to get back on that lead lap.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah, very much needed gamble. So fingers crossed for the 4 of Brent Kuhl that it ends up working out, same as the case of the 57 of Hunter McDaniel, the first ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. Last season, once again, first ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. But Bryce Whitson Jr. right behind this pace car, exiting turn 4, going green. Once we go green, 47 laps remaining. And the pace car dips off, and Bryce Whitson holds pace speed. Trying to trick them. Oh, the green flag flies. He waits until the green flag flies. Nobody was expecting that, and that will bunch everybody else behind him. Great restart by Whitson Jr. Garrett Robinson still 2nd place. Actually, scratch that. Now 4th place against 48 of Curtis Vollmer, 33 Vern Markheim, 40 of Joshua Gillen. Joshua Gillen on the outside behind the 1 of Robinson, trying to follow his race line to try and get a good arc on the entrance to turn number 3, as the inside is being occupied by the 33 of Vern Markheim, actually the inside of the 1 of Robinson, and Robinson pushing the machine at its peak, at its limit, to try and get that 2nd place spot away from the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, actually 64 of Cody McFadden. So in this case, they're fighting for the 3rd place spot as we speak. But the 1 of Brent will propel on the outside with the help of the outside line advantage. That slingshot, and entering turn 3, he's not clear.
Yes, now he's going up against the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, who's sitting in that 3rd spot. They're going to be side by side out of turn number 4 here. Bryce Whitson, though, he's already starting to gain his gap. He is already 0.5 of a second ahead of Cody McFadden. So taking a look here so far tonight at our race report, we've had 4 cautions, 6 lead changes. We've had Hunter McDaniel, who led 46 laps so far. Bryce Whitson Jr., 24 laps. Garrett Robinson has led 6 laps. Brent Kuhl has led 4 laps. And Cody McFadden all leading 3 laps.
Yep, congrats to all these drivers leading some laps, especially Hunter McDaniel leading the most laps here in tonight's race so far. I'm not sure if this record can be beat. Actually, yes, it can. We have 44 laps remaining here so far in tonight's race with the pit window opening up here in about 10 laps, 10 to 15 laps like David talked about. So fingers crossed for that, ladies and gentlemen. And this pit stop is going to be the final pit stop. And these drivers have to pay extra. Oh, I hear some scraping the back. The 40 of Gillen was off the track, but he saved it, and the green flag stays out.
Well, let's go back to the replay here, see what happened to Josh Gillen. Is we are going to pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay focusing on the 40 of Joshua Gillen. Let's see exactly what happened, but he did go off the track in through the grass. It looked like he was running. Oh, he made contact with the apron. That upset the truck a little bit, unfortunately. Got that rear end loose, but he was able to get it back under control, get it back out on the track, keep us green flag racing. Great driving there by the 40 of Josh Gillen.
Great driving indeed, and he almost got assistance from these 2 of Ethan Kurtz. Wow, sideways. That could have been ugly, and great reaction by Ethan Kurtz, avoiding completely putting that Josh, the 40 of Gillen, sideways there unintentionally. Once again, nice save by all these drivers, and we are still green flag racing, but that sends Joshua Gillen back, further back in the pack in 17th place. So he's going to have to do that all over again, which is still doable. 41 laps remaining here, but up front, Cody McFadden just gained less than 1/10 of a second against the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr., one of the faster drivers in the long run here so far this season here in the Truck Series, and has been doing amazing ever since his first appearance. And the 48 of Curtis Vollmer currently in the 5th place spot against 33 of Vern Markheim. Vern Markheim that was further back in the pack early on, but he is now back in the top 5, right behind the 1 of Garrett Robinson. And as we speak, for the back in the pack, 98 of Dakota Craig watches the battle live in front of him between the 40 of Gillen and the 42 of Andrew Combs. Andrew Combs' slingshot engaged off the exit of turn 2, that outside line advantage, and the 40 of Gillen will end up using the outside to have a good entrance to turn number 3. But right behind Joshua Gillen is the 98 of Dakota Craig, who had a very, very bad entrance to turn 3. As a result, he'll go from about 17th place to 20th place in 1 lap.
Yeah, also taking a look here, I'm not sure, I saw him up here, but I saw the 81 of Travis Pryor. He's sitting up here in 8th position. So he is working his way back through the field there after starting 33rd, gaining 25 positions here inside the top 10, running right behind the 07 of Christian DeFalco. Ethan Kurtz back up front. We've seen him involved in an earlier incident where he went down through the grass and saved it, but he is now sitting here in 6th. 38 laps to go. We have about 3 to 4 more laps, and the pit window is going to open to where these guys can come down on pit road and pit for their final time.
And 81 of Travis Pryor right now has he ended up losing his race line. As a result, lost 3 spots, namely to the 74 of Greg Bradshaw, Christian DeFalco, and the 2 of Ethan Kurtz. Actually, just 2 spots to Christian DeFalco, including the 74 of Greg Bradshaw. But right now, Travis gets a big run on the back bumper of the 74 of Greg Bradshaw, who is on the inside line. And last time we checked on Travis Pryor, that was actually a while back. I believe that was before the before the caution. The last caution we had, he had some heavy damage. But during the last caution we had, Pryor decided to stay on pit road a little while longer for his pit crew to make that machine look a little bit prettier, to help the aerodynamics at the exact same time. And ever since then, that machine has come back to life. Oh, it's got more life than it had before. And as we see, he's bump dropping the crap out of the 07 of Christian DeFalco. And another driver moving up, very, very high up, the 194 of Garrett Helmlinger. Garrett Helmlinger, last time we checked, was for the back in the pack, just pretty much riding, but now he found 5th gear before the last round of green flag pit stops. He just went from 10th place to 13th place, but last time he was in the 30th place and below. But right now, he falls back in line ahead of Jim Kelly, back behind the 77 of Tyler Holman in that moonshine machine. That is always a well-dressed machine by Tyler Holman. And let's see that we have Hunter Mick, Daniel, Marty Ray in line, Andrew Combs, and Gary Whitson, and 98 of Dakota Craig from 15th place on to 20th.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking down the gun here. 34 laps to go. We are going to go ahead and take our final commercial break of the night so that we can bring you the conclusion of the race here. So we'll be right back after these commercials.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225. That's the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225, round 8 of 10. Here, the regular race season before the chase begins with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series, brought to you by the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. For all the new viewers out there in the chat watching the Dre Broadcasting Network, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. For the existing and or returning viewers, welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network. We see you there, Patty. Hope you're doing well and you're enjoying the show here tonight. It has been a heck of a race tonight here at Kentucky with the trucks. Well, like I had said, Extreme Motorsports, for those who are new and are looking for a great league to be a part of, check them out. And they do run on Monday nights Pro Can-Am series and a road series. Tuesday nights is a truck series. Wednesday nights Xfinity series, and Thursday nights a Cup series. So basically, the intensity the intensity increases with every single series. Basically, you can basically view the Pro Can-Am series as the beginner class, while the Cup series is the best of the best and the most experienced. So with that said, they place you in different series based on your experience. But going back to the race here, the pit stops have kicked in. Green flag pit stops have kicked in. The final round of pit stops, that is. Pit road getting busier by the lap, by the minute. We have McFadden down pit road. That's Cody McFadden down pit road. Gary Whitson, Tommy Haynes. We have Timothy Hamlet, Tyler Laureano as well on pit road. And some drivers who already pitted in include Garrett Helmlinger, Vern Markheim, Hunter McDaniel, Garrett Robinson, Travis Pryor, Brian Wasserman, Joshua Gillen, Dakota Craig, Devin Sanders, Bobby Tinch. These guys pitted in already, but up front, the leader, 48 of Curtis Vollmer, pits in and passes the race lead over to the 2 of Ethan Kurtz, who's staying out.
Yeah, I mean, 22 laps to go, so pit road's going to be busy here as they're getting into the final stretch here. Who's going to come away with it? Still waiting on Ethan Kurtz, Greg Bradshaw, Christian DeFalco, Tyler Holloman, Jim Kelly, Andrew Combs, Paul Davis, and Ken Ladd. Those steel guys still need to pit. Also, the 36 of Jason Eisenhower will also need to pit. Marty Ray needs to pit. And Gary Wolbert also needs to pit.
Greg Bradshaw, Christian DeFalco, Tyler Holman, Paul Davis, Kerry Cleaver, all down pit road as we speak. And Dave, status check on the 57 of Hunter McDaniel. Last time we checked on him during the last caution, you know, he had some heavy damage from spinning his wheels on the exit of his pit stall. But look at that, Dave, that Whataburger paint scheme or machine, the Toyota Tundra, is back up and running, brand new, not a single scratch on that orange beast, and is now doing some damage. But, you know, despite that, in spite that, he still has a lot of work to do in terms of making up time.
Yeah, also looks like the 81 of Travis Pryor got his backup truck. He's got a brand new Toyota Tundra for the Maverick Motorsports. So, this should be interesting here. Is right now our new race leader is going to be the 42 of Andrew Combs.
Yep, and I'm glad you pointed out Travis Pryor getting a brand new machine, but despite him getting a brand new machine, he now has a little bit of a dent in the right rear to show for it. So all the front end damage is fixed. Not a single scratch on that beast, but the rear end is the problem. But that is just a little bit of a ding, just nothing but a scratch. It is built Toyota tough. And right now his next victim, the 13 of Gary B. Whitson. But up front here, the leaders pitting in as we speak. The final drivers pitting in, namely Andrew Combs on pit road. Actually, it looks like Andrew Combs was the only driver left to pit in. But Dave, we have some drivers who pitted in a little bit too soon. That's gonna include Brent Quill, including Joshua Gillen, and also Jason Eisenhower. These guys might need to go in one more time.
Yeah, but right now our race lead has been switched back over to the 10 of Bryce Woodson Jr. He has now led 45 laps as we're under caution.
Oh man, it's not a good thing for some, but might be good for others. 11 of Ken Ladd get a piece of the action. Yep, let's focus on Ken Ladd and see what happened.
Well, as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay here, taking a look at the 11 of Ken Ladd, looks like he's just running the low line there. See if maybe the back end kicked out on him. He overcorrected up into the outside wall. Just a single truck spin there. Really unfortunate there. That back end just kind of came around and he overcorrected it. It got traction, sending for a spin after off the outside wall. Really unfortunate there for the 11 of Ken Ladd.
And Dave, as we had at the same time as Ken Ladd spinning, we had Jason Eisenhower. He locked his wheels up going down pit road, which did send him sideways almost into the inside wall. That's on pit entrance. But no harm was done by Jason Eisenhower, but definitely unfortunate for both drivers. And that caught Jason Eisenhower at a very bad time as he was going down pit road. And this should work out for some drivers who were going to pit in again. Let's see. I talked about them. Joshua Gillen, including Brent Quill. These guys having a lot more laps on their tires. And yes, they are going down pit road. Gillen, Quill, down pit road, and majority of the field doing the exact same thing, even though they just pitted in less than 10 laps ago. But once again, the tire wear is a lot worse than it used to be. So these drivers know the importance, or are feeling the importance of having newer tires. But up front, McFadden taking over the race lead. Curtis Vollmer second. Gary Whitson third. Bryce Whitson Jr. fourth. Vern Markheim fifth. Rounding up the top five.
Yeah, most definitely. So this is going to be interesting, though. Looks like a bunch of cars. This is going to be interesting because a lot of trucks stayed out. So we're going to see older tires versus newer tires. 17 laps to go. We're going to have about a 14 lap shootout when we go green flag racing, Sean.
Oh man, you know what that means? It is go time, ladies and gentlemen. Past T, ladies and gentlemen, hang on to those seats. Put 3-4 seatbelts on, cause 1 or 2 will not do the trick. There's so much action going on here with less than 10 laps remaining. Oh, actually almost at the 10 to go mark. Once we go green, we'll be very, very close to that. So fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is out the window. And speaking about out the window, we have so many drivers moving up to the top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20. Gonna go down this list. Gary Whitson, he had some bad luck early on, but is now in 3rd place after starting in the 24th place spot. Tyler Homan was not in the top 10 for the longest time, but he is now in the top 5 from 13th place to 4th. Devin Sanders, haven't spoken much of Devin Sanders tonight, the Bud Light machine. He was in the back of the pack pretty much all race long, just buying his time. He did start 25th and currently in the 5th place spot, rounding up the top 5. 07 of Christian DeFalco from 19th place to 6th. We have the 2 of Ethan Kurtz from 18th place to 8th. Travis Pryor, 33rd place to 9th. We also have the 74 of Greg Bradshaw, 29th to 13th. We have the 40 Joshua Gillen, 23rd to 15th. The 194 of Garrett Helmlinger from 32nd to 16th. We have Paul Davis from dead last, 34th. Yep, that 34th to 18th. We have Andrew Combs from 33rd to 19th this far with 16 laps remaining. Well, so many drivers moving up is the point. A lot of drivers from the back of the pack coming to the front because once again they know it's go time, the closing stages. The gloves are about to be off, and just like I talked about with Curtis Vollmer there, it's going to be now 100% take. That's 100% take and 0% give. If you're lucky enough, maybe 99% take and 1% give. As right now the lights on the pace car do turn off. Lights are off. Cody McFadden in the lead, starting on the outside with the help of 13 of Gary Whitson. On the outside, 48 of Curtis Vollmer with the help of the 77 of Tyler Homan. We are going green, a 14-lap shootout coming up. So the top 7 drivers: Cody McFadden, Curtis Vollmer, Gary Whitson, Tyler Holman, Devin Sanders, Christian DeFalco, including Jim Kelly. These drivers are the only ones who stayed out this caution. So we're gonna see exactly how this how this works with or against them, if it does. So fingers crossed for that, ladies and gentlemen. We're exiting turn 4, going green. 14-lap shootout coming up.
Yes, the pace car now brings him out of turn 4, getting ready to go. Green flag racing, pace car is off. Cody McFadden off on the throttle. Here we go back. Green flag racing, 14 laps to go as these guys are battling away to come away with the win here. Cody McFadden getting a good jump. Curtis Vollmer on the outside as Gary Whitson on the inside. Is the outside going to prevail? Yes, Curtis Vollmer is going to prevail and clearing. But he is going to try to the inside of Cody McFadden coming into turn 3.
Yeah, Vollmer trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, gaining 2 spots in 1 lap. Oh, he almost makes contact with the left rear of McFadden, but he backs it down to avoid causing trouble. No harm done. He maintains that 2nd place spot, but because he backed it down, he lost a lot of speed and momentum, as 13 of Whitson would try and benefit from that. But here off turn 2, hindsight advantage should work with B. Whitson, and yes it does. He has the outside of 48 of Curtis Vollmer, but the more these 2 drivers battle, the more the leader up front, McFadden, pulls away, and the more he smiles. At the exact same time, Vollmer trying his best to hold the 13 of Whitson off, but Whitson is not giving up without a fight. But right behind Whitson is 77 of Holman watching the battle.
Yeah, most definitely, but Curtis Vollmer, he's trying to hold off Gary Whitson. Gary Whitson wanting to get around him. They got to watch her. One of the faster guys here tonight, the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr., he is moving up here as he is on the inside of the 77 of Tyler Holman, as he is going to take that number 4 position away. Thing is, can these guys hold him off, as Whitson is got newer tires than the rest of these guys?
Oh, yep, we're most likely going to be seeing the effect of those older tires. He's on the inside of the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. And the new tires will stick way better, way more grip. But off turn 2, slingshot engaged off the exit by Curtis Vollmer. He's going to propel a slight nose entering turn number 3, side by side still. As up front, still battling 2nd place and 3rd place. Actually, 1st place and 2nd place driver Whitson and McFadden. And crossover move engaged by Curtis Vollmer against the 10 of Whitson. The caution flies on lap number 119 with 10 laps remaining. You'll see exactly who might have been involved.
Well, unfortunately, that's going to involve the 77 of Tyler Holman. So we're going to pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, see if we can see exactly what happened. We're going to focus on the 77 as he was running, him and the 07 of Christian DeFalco get into it. Vern Markheim involved in it. Oh, really unfortunate there. Quite a few good cars. I think Garrett Robinson also involved in that. Yes, he was. So this is really going to shake it up here with 10 laps to go.
Oh man, that is the biggest wreck we've seen tonight. Call that the big junk, if you will. That did collect a lot of drivers passing by who could not slow down in time. Pretty much the track was blocked. It became a pinball effect from the top of the track to the bottom of the track and to the grass. But yeah, very unfortunate. And Tyler Holman there getting one of the worst ends of that deal. Heavy smoke down pit road. It's a barbecue down towards pit road as Garrett Robinson is pitting in. Yes, Robinson pits in. Vern Markheim pits in. Tyler Holman, Andy Starcher, Kerry Cleaver, and Tyler Loriano all down pit road. And this should give the race lead over to the 64 of Cody McFadden, who does not have a single scratch on that machine. Oh man, with 10 laps remaining, so once we go green, we'll be having about, let's see, 6 to 7 lap shootout as one driver gets the wave around that pace car, the 05 of Tommy Amasi, back on the lead lap on lap 120.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Sean. Once we go back green flag, next flag will end the race.
Actually, that's a very, very good point. Next flag ends the race. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers will be trying to be in the best spot they can possibly be in, knowing that that flag will end the race no matter where they are. And so far, the drivers who are smiling include the top 10 drivers. Cody McFadden, we have Gary Whitson, we have Bryce Whitson, Curtis Vollmer, Ethan Kurtz, Travis Pryor, Jim Kelly, Christian DeFalco, Brian Wasserman, Garrett Helmlinger as well, rounding up the top 10 this far. And Robinson still on pit road as we speak. Yes, Garrett Robinson on pit road. He's been on pit road for over 30 seconds. Yeah, he has used his backup truck, unfortunately. Oh, we've actually lost 2 drivers here tonight. We've lost the 77 of, that's going to be 43 of Tyler Loriano, and the 33 of Vern Markheim. Markheim having 2 bad nights in a row, last night and tonight here in the truck series. That is unfortunate. But look forward to seeing these drivers back again for next week's race. And if we do not go 1 to green this time, it will give us some time to get a race interview in. So fingers crossed for that. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are showing 27 drivers on the lead lap, with Jason Eisenhower being the first driver 1 lap down. We have Marty Ray, Gary Woolbot, Ken Ladd being shown more than 1 lap down, actually. Status check on Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd is still on pit road. He has been on pit road for quite a while, getting that damage fixed. He got involved in 2 incidents there, unfortunately. Gary Woolbot as well. Actually, status check on Gary Woolbot. He is on the track as we speak. We have Tyler Loriano, who did retire, unfortunately. Marty Ray moving up. He has a brand new machine, not a single scratch on that beast. Still trying his best, struggling to get both laps back, because he has been 2 laps down for a very, very long time, more than half the race. But up front, we are back 1 to green, ladies and gentlemen, going green for the final time. This time around, McFadden still leading, and the leaders do have lane choice on these restarts, and he's deciding to start on the outside line with the help of the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. On the inside line, Gary B. Whitson with the help of the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. We are going green for the final time this time around, and if I did not yet say it, put those seatbelts on. It's going to be a bumpy ride until the end. So much battles coming up. And we have Bandit Racing in the chat. Welcome back, Bandit Racing. And that's 28 of Chris Voiles with the Bandit Motorsports team. He did miss tonight, but he was there last night. It is good to see there, Chris. And the pace car does dip off, and McFadden wastes no time whatsoever. That green flag flies last. This is the last flag here of the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225 with 6 laps remaining. Cody McFadden, Gary Whitson, Bryce Whitson, Curtis Vollmer, single foul, but Curtis Vollmer under pressure from the 81 of Travis Pryor, but off turn 248 of Vollmer will edge him out as they enter turn 3. They are single foul, the caution flies with 6 laps remaining. Actually, we might be seeing a 1-lap shootout, but fingers crossed for that. We're gonna back it up and see who might have been involved.
Well, that's going to involve 74 Greg Bradshaw. Let's take a look here. It's Greg Bradshaw running on the outside of the 72 machine. Let's see. Looks like oh, he got into the outside wall, shot him down into the 72, and he went. Oh, we got our airborne. We knew somebody was going to go airborne. You know what that means? We are going to go on board here and take a look from the cockpit of the 74 of Greg Bradshaw. As it looks like he just got into the loose stuff, got into the outside wall. It shot him off the wall down into the 72 inside wall, and then shot back out on the track. And I think I'm a little dizzy now, Sean.
Oh, I can only imagine, man. I would be too. Yeah, man, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what that looks like from the driver's point of view. And right now, Bradshaw is most likely just, stretching, trying to, get his thoughts back together. Because that was a ride of a lifetime, flipping in every single direction known to mankind. And as a result, getting towed down to pit road because it blew his motor once that machine finally made its way back to land. Well, up front, McFadden still in the lead. Gary Whitson second, Bryce Whitson third, Curtis Vollmer fourth, and Travis Pryor rounding up the top 5 this far. 4 laps remaining, and that caution came out with 6 laps remaining. So if we're lucky enough, we might be able to see a 1-lap shootout, but fingers crossed for that. And this gives us some time to get a race interview in as promised. So let's focus on the 51 of Paul Davis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by one of the new drivers to the Truck Series this season, the 51 of Paul Davis. Get a cup there, Paul. Paul Davis, get a cup there, buddy.
I can't answer him, Gary.
10-4, man. We'll try before the race is over, man. Good luck to you. Okay, and that was 51 of Paul Davis. Couldn't talk just yet, so we are going to try before the race is over. Well, we don't have any time for interviews here. We'll be going on to green the next time around. But the same top 5 and further down this list, Ethan Kurtz 6th. We have Jim Kelly 7th, Garrett Helmlinger 8th, Joshua Gillen 9th, 149 of Timothy Hamlet in the 10th place spot. Rounding up the top 10 this far, we got a chance to speak with Kerry Cleaver there early on. He is currently in the 20th place spot. He was in 26th when we interviewed him, but now he is in 20th behind 59 of David White. We have Andy Starcher, Hunter McDaniel, Andrew Combs, Bobby Tinch, Paul Davis, Dakota Craig, Brand Quill, Devin Sanders here from 11th place all the way down to the 20th place position, rounding up the top 20 this far. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the gloves are finally off, and it is now confirmed 100% take and 0% give. And the lights on the pace car do turn off. Lights are off, and 1 lap shootout as promised. Cody McFadden still in the lead with the help of the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. Actually scratched that 48 of Curtis Vollmer on the outside, assisting McFadden on the inside of, that's Gary B. Whitson with the help of Bryce Whitson Jr. going green for the final time this time around. Oh man, these drivers getting bunched up closer than ever before and trying to warm these tires up. On the exit of turn 4, they know that at this point they'll either bring the steering wheel home, that's the steering wheel home, or the checkered flag home, and nothing in between is acceptable. Exiting turn 4, going green. That pace car dips off. The leader up front, McFadden, still holding pace speed. They get bunched up, banging the back of the pack, and McFadden finds the gas pedal. But 13 of Whitson sees it coming in, so does the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. 10 of Bryce Whitson trying to play catch-up. At this point, the driver is getting up to speed at the exact same time while racing. And 13 of Whitson on the inside of the 48 of Vollmer side by side. And that 10 of Whitson with a big run against the two drivers there, Vollmer and Whitson. But as no choice but to just fall back in line. It is a roadblock for him, but McFadden is going to bring it home. Oh, big tap sideways on the exit of turn number 3. 48 of Vollmer, 13 of Whitson, big wreck, big jack, and exiting turn 4. Oh man, they keep piling in there. What a heck of a finish, what a finish, oh man. But McFadden will bring this home and challenge. 194 of Helmlinger comes out second. That's 194 of Garrett Helmlinger. Ethan Kurtz third. Brent Kuhl fourth. And Hunter McDaniel in the 5th place spot. And Dave, we definitely have to take a look at that from the blimp view if you can. Blimp view.
Well, as I'm taking a look here, we're going to focus on the 10 here. See if we can see this big wreck from the blimp here, because this was a huge one. And the final turn of the race is looked like Curtis Vollmer went around. Wow, I mean, that was a huge wreck. A lot of trucks involved. But as you said, it looks like Cody McFadden is going to win the race, with Garrett Helmlinger coming in second and Ethan Kurtz rounding out your top 3.
And we're gonna watch the here before too long the 64 McFadden do his victory donuts. So let's enjoy the show, and we'll be interviewing the top 3 drivers and the special guest. So please stay tuned for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by our top 3 drivers and a special guest. We have Cody McFadden, Garrett Helmlinger, Ethan Kurtz, and our special guest here tonight being 51 of Paul Davis. We're gonna start with tonight's race winner 64
they keep
of
trying
McFadden.
to take me up in the tower for an interview, Gary, and I can't.
Well, that we have Cody McFadden up in the Dre Broadcasting booth. Get a cup there, Cody.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great now.
Oh man, I can only imagine. Heck of a show on your part here tonight, and this being your first win right here in the Truck Series at Kentucky Speedway for the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225. Well, tell us about your experience tonight.
Oh, well, I ran around second, third the whole night there, and I knew Hunter and Bryce were really fast, so just trying to stay with them there, and then that last last caution before those last couple of short cautions, I decided to stay out and just, you know, hopefully pray for a bunch of people to stay out behind me to keep the 10 back there. So it ended up working out, and just happy to get that W.
Oh, 10-4, man. Very glad to hear about that. And when it came down to the green flag pit stops, what was your strategy? Because the first time we noticed you decided to, you were actually one of the last drivers to pit in.
Yeah, I've been burned by cautions during pit cycles, so I decided to take it as far as I could and try not to get caught in that again.
Oh, 10-4, man. Well, mission success or complete on your part here tonight after starting in the 8th place spot and finishing on the podium, winning your first race here this season, 2 races before the chase begins. That is very, very commendable. And you've been doing an amazing job all season long, and that does not go unnoticed. Well, McFadden, any final words before you go celebrate?
Yeah, just thanks to Extreme Motorsports, you guys up in the boost at DRE and Performance Motorsports. We got a lot of help tonight. from Vern and Andy, and Greg running too. So it's nice to get that W for them guys.
Well, congrats on your success here tonight, Cody. We look forward to seeing you here for next race next week. Go celebrate, buddy. You earned it.
Alrighty, thank you.
That was first time winner here this series, this season, a 64 of Cody McFadden. But next in line is the 194 of Garrett Helmlinger. Get a cup there, Garrett.
I do.
How you doing tonight?
Fantastic. How are you doing, Sean?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. Well, Garrett here tonight, you kept a very, very low profile. Started dead last for more than half the race. You're just riding in the back of the pack. But then towards the very end, you somehow found 5th gear and you worked your way towards the podium by the end of the race. Tell us about your race tonight.
Yeah, just that. I hung low in the beginning, just trying to make it through the race. Only my second truck start, so I've been trying to get a feel for these trucks and the feel for how these guys race. And towards the end, about halfway, decided it was go time, worked my way towards the front, and got lucky with the second place finish.
And Garrett, we know you are one of the drivers here with the Extreme Motorsports Pro K&N series. And last night you ran this track with the Pro K&N cars. Do you feel that practice that you had last night with those machines helped here tonight, or you had to relearn everything?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The race definitely helped. Kentucky is one of those tracks where the more time you put on the track, the better you're going to be, no matter what series it is, car to car. It definitely helped a lot, helped me learn the lines coming into the night, and definitely helped me on the short runs, not so much on the long runs. The long runs I kind of had to figure out myself, but it was pretty good.
Well, we are glad to hear about that, man, and a very, very successful night on your part. Like you said, for your second race this season here in the truck series. You're an amazing driver, man. It's always amazing seeing you go throughout the whole entire track week after week with these drivers. Well, buddy, congrats on your success tonight. And before I let you go, man, any final words?
No, just want to thank Extreme Motorsports, want to thank the admins out there, want to thank y'all up in the booth. Y'all put on a great show, and hopefully I'll be talking to y'all more this season.
Well, go celebrate, buddy. You earned it, and see you next week. That was the 194 of Garrett Helmlinger, second race for him, and great success on his part. But next in line is the 2 of Ethan Kurtz. Get up there, Ethan.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
A lot better than I was beginning of the night. I wasn't really confident after we qualified 18th. We've been having a lot of bad luck lately. Haven't finished since Charlotte. But we spun in the beginning. I was like, this is not going to go well, but we recovered and got a little bit of damage in that both final wrecks, but we got really lucky with 7 out of 4 there, and we were able to gain a couple spots and move up to 3rd.
Oh man, what a heck of an eventful race on your part, from your perspective. When it comes to you losing control on the exit of turn 4, we actually definitely got a chance to catch that. How were you able, basically, how did you running like a madman throughout the whole entire field, trying to make up for lost time, how did that affect your machine, because you were able to make it work?
I was actually really surprised. I found a line, I fell back to, I think what it was, dead last, and I found a line that worked really well and didn't use a lot of tire, and I was just able to get up to, I think I got up to like 22nd before the caution came out, and I just worked my way up through the field, and that line was really good on long run. It didn't waste a lot of tire, and I kill everybody on exit, and that's what I used to get up to the front and finish up there.
Oh, copy that indeed, and great success once again. And Ethan, you talked about how you haven't had much success this season. Absolutely, man. Trouble seems to find you no matter where you may be. But tonight, should we expect tonight to be a turning point for you?
Man, I hope so. I'm really excited for Pocono next week. It's one of my favorite tracks, and then Sonoma in 3 weeks, I think. I think we have a shot to do really well at those, and even win one of them, hopefully both. But I think this is a sign of good things to come. We're just going to set our eyes on the chase.
Well, congrats on your success tonight there, Ethan. And we look forward to seeing you again next week at Pocono. And any final words before we go celebrate?
Want to thank Lids. They've been on the car for a couple weeks now. They'll be on a little bit later in the season. KeepBangin.com with Charles Cook. His inspirational story with his kidney and heart transplant, and then my best friend Maximus, I ran him on the car at Kansas, and he passed away last month. That's been really rough for me, and I'm glad I finally got to park it in the podium for him.
Oh man, yeah, great job. Congratulations on your success here in tonight's race, and great things you're doing, man. And we are very sorry to hear about you losing your best friend not too long ago. That definitely can be hard, but you know, you're very strong, man, and you get through this with the help of the Extreme and family and friends. Everything is achievable, and so far you're doing well, buddy. Well, congratulations on your success, and see you again next week at Pocono.
Thank you.
And that was the two of Ethan Kurtz and our special guest, our new special guest. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a word in with 51 of Paul Davis. We'll try again next week. Our new special guest here, 42 of Andrew Combs. Good to go up there, Andrew.
I do. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, Andrew, tonight you were the driver who did start in the dead last position, 36th. Actually, tonight, yeah, that's 35th, actually. And you were able to work your way up all race long and finish in the top 10, right behind 59 of David White. How's your experience tonight?
I think it was pretty good. I had a few struggles there about the mid-race with pit stops and couldn't get in my pit box, but strategy worked out in our favor, and the wrecks there at the end, we got through, and managed to wound out in 8th place finish.
Oh man, very, very successful night on your part indeed. And what did you find to be the most challenging? What did you find most challenging on your journey to the front?
Well, I have a lot of experience at this track. This is pretty much my home track here, only about an hour away from me. And I get a lot of experience here, so starting from the back and racing with a bunch of people who I know I'm faster than, that's probably the most difficult part of the night, trying to negotiate them cleanly. But it was pretty clean racing, but still gotta say that because I did have a few incidents with drivers, but nothing too major.
Oh, copy that, man. Very, very glad to hear about that. And this is only your third race this season, this series, here with the Extreme Motorsports 99. And so far, you've been doing an amazing job. We look forward to you getting nothing but higher up in positions with every single week. So 7 spots higher next week at Pocono. And speaking of Pocono, how much experience do you have there?
I got a little bit, not very good there. I got 2nd place in NIS once, but that's really not a lot because it was an open series, and you know how that goes with the open series, a lot of wrecks. But I hope to be there. I might not be able to be there. I got exams to study for, but hopefully I'll be back the week after that.
Oh, copy that, brother. Well, we're able to see you be able to make here tonight's race. Very successful night on your part, from dead last to the top 10. Very commendable and impressive. We look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, if you can make it next week for Pocono's race. But if you can't, we look forward to seeing you after next week's race there, after the Christmas break, because Extreme is off after next week's race. Well, but in fun words, we'll let you go celebrate.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was 42 of Andrew Combs. That's his 3rd start this season, from dead last to the top 10 to 8th place, right behind David White and ahead of 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Well, that rounds up all the interviews there. Cody McFadden, Garrett Helmlinger, Ethan Kurtz, and Andrew Combs. And also congratulations to Cody McFadden for having his first win in this season, in the series this season here with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Truck Series. This was the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225, round number 8 of 10 in the regular race season before the chase begins. Only 2 more races before the chase begins. Next week being at Pocono Raceway for the Overtons 150. That's the Overtons 150, and after that we'll have a break in between that race and the upcoming one, the final race before the chase, Sonoma Raceway, the Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway, just like some drivers have touched on here in the interview. Well, Dave, any thoughts?
It was a great race. Look forward to next week.
Oh, as usual. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of the action. We definitely look forward to bringing you this action live, just like Dave had talked about there a few seconds ago. And we can never thank you guys enough for everything you do for us. So once again, for all the new viewers out there, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. If you are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get notified every single time we go live, because we are live 5 nights a week, which means we kept you guys entertained and fed almost every single day of the week. Well, the next race is going to be next week here with the ExtremeMotorsports99.com round 9 of 10, the Overtons 150 at Pocono Raceway. The next broadcast is going to be the next broadcast on the Dre Broadcasting Network is on Thursday night, a championship race for the Upper Edge Cup Series. That's going to be Thursday night, Upper Edge Cup Series, crowning a new champion. But the next broadcast that Dave is doing is going to be with Joe White tomorrow night in the online Sim Racing Network booth. That's going to be the Xfinity Series here with the Extreme Motorsports 99 with David Everly and Joe White. I am Sean Zulu and David Everly behind the cameras. We can never thank you guys enough. Have a good night and a good rest of the week.